Sorry about that, everybody. I think we got everything set up here. Hopefully all of you are doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the sportiest stream. Nice to see you all. Today's a low energy kind of day for me. I'm a little tired, but hey, we still got some fun going on, right? You know, you can never be too tired for Rocket League. I definitely won't be, as we got a single series here tonight. We have RektGG. That's when last night RektGG played. We have RektGG Carnage versus Team Ignition. Nice to see Team Ignition back to the stream. They played last week, and that was a pretty good series. I believe it was a game 5 of a sweep. Was last week. They played last week. They played Pontic's King. Yes, they played Pontic's King and beat him in a sweep. Sorry, in a reverse sweep. Something that we don't see often on this stream, but they are now back on stream. But this time they gotta go against RektGG Carnage, who is going to be a rough matchup for them. That's going to be a tougher team in the standings considerably, because RektGG Carnage they only lost to Hardball, which it seems like nobody can beat Hardball. Everybody will lose to them. But their other wins came against Valhalla Deathwish, where they had to go to Game 5, but they won that one. And we'll look at this. And against Pontic's King, who they also beat in Game 5. So 2 wins in Game 5 here, I think, for Carnage. Both teams do have the exact same game differential, by the way. I'll Twisted Ninja. So this will be fun, isn't it? Both these teams at the same standings. Somebody's going to have to drop. And I don't know. You guys can predict who you think will win. That prediction poll now sent out for both of you. Both of you, that sounds weird. Both teams as fans. There we go, that makes a little more sense. Go vote, everybody. Go vote. As the rosters for both these teams here on screen right now. I did hear from Lucky that these RektGG Carnage team is kind of a 4-man roster between him, Flying Penguin on Fire, and Dino Dan, where they all kind of switch in and out of playing. So we'll see how that works for Ignition. I heard from them that they will not have spider checks available. Still be playing with Proster, Ignition Savage, and Brizzle. I recognize a lot of those people from Ignition. I'm partnered with Ignition, so I do recognize a lot of their players pretty easily, but of course, this would be a tough series for Ignition. Like, coming from the Ignition POV that I saw them play last week, they played well, but they looked like they had some struggles. And while they got that reverse sweep, I don't know if they're going to have that same chance if they would lose 2 games to Carnage. I think for them, they need to have a better start than they did last week. Because if they don't get that start that they want, Ignition is going to struggle here against RektGG Carnage. I think if people were to vote for the favorites, they'd probably vote Carnage here, but these teams have the exact same game differential. And Ignition. And the match lobby info, I'm pretty sure I sent it to you. I did not send it to you. There you go, now I sent it to you. Sorry about that there, Brizzle. I thought I sent it to you, but now I have. It's nice to see people you recognize playing, but I think for this one, for Ignition, this is going to be a much tougher challenge for them than last week. But for RektGG Carnage, I don't know much about them, but a 4-man roster switching in and out, generally speaking, the teams that I've seen do that, it doesn't usually provide to be very successful, and at least, except for the very start of the season when you're trying to figure out who wants to play. Generally, a roster like that is very difficult to maintain, so that's going to be the one thing I want to see from Carnage. Do they stick true to form and they go and for changing the roster every single game, or do they maybe stick with a roster that plays really well? We'll see what they go with. No, I have sent it to him. He's got it. I just forgot to press send. Don't make fun of me. As we wait for both of these teams to get ready, because this is going to be a best of 5. It might feel somewhat quick, but again, the prediction poll up for all of you to vote in. And for any of you who don't know, the coach of Ignition, that's Ignition Ziggy, that's their CEO. And nice to have him taking around. I don't know if he's available tonight. I still haven't sent it to you? I've sent it to you, Brizzle. I've definitely sent it to you. Yeah, Muddy, I sent it to you. Available? Oh, see, so we might actually have Ziggy in the lobby. Doing his coaching duties. You let him know? Oh, great. I mean, you don't have to, but that's nice of it anyways. I know you had some issues last week with that, so makes sense. Just, you know, make sure you get everything sorted out here. As again, we're just waiting for both these teams. We got only a few minutes left. We'll go in game. Not much to see here on the screen. And this is the one you guys are focusing on. Both teams are 2-1. Again, same game differential. See how it goes for both of them. We're just waiting for both of them. I see the roster here for RektGG Carnage. Depends on the only problem is they have to choose 3 other players to stick in. They cannot have subs viewing, so I should probably actually tell them that because I don't know if they know. There you go. It seems like we got everything sorted out here. Just waiting around here. We're waiting for both these teams to join in. We do have RektGG Carnage. As now they've chosen their 3 players to stick in. Will be Fire, Penguin, and Lucky. As soon as Ignition joins, we'll get this series started off. Again, they have some time. We all have some time. This is the only match tonight for me, so that'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. As that prediction poll also closing, but all the votes in here. So thank you all for voting. As there's the roster there for Ignition. Against Proster, Grizzle, and Ignition Savage, who in-game is Young Savage, but he's Ignition Savage. And then they have Ziggy as coach. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. Don't worry, we haven't even started game 1. You're on time. Let both these teams join. As soon as everybody's in, we'll get this thing started. Just waiting on Lucky and Proster. There they are. Okay, all players are in. RektGG Carnage, Team Ignition, they both have the exact same record and the exact same games for and against. 2-1. Having lost their games in sweeps, I believe probably both to Hardwall, if I had to take an assumption. And now they're out here to try to separate each other. And to break into that top half of the group. A win would be pretty necessary, especially now that we're getting further on into the bracket. Now you start playing these games where you might have to try to win against these teams closer to you to separate yourself from them. Especially for both these teams, they want to make playoffs, they want to go far in the first split of the Premier Championship Series. And again, if you want to start off well, you gotta get yourself into that top half of this bracket. There's Ignition, survives on defense. Savage with a shot. Fire will clear it back out. Proster can't get control of this one in the corner. Now Fire. But his touch can only go so far. Penguin will get a dunk though. This one towards the corner for Fire. Off the back wall. Couple bumps, team bumps. Oh my goodness, all the bumps here for Ignition. I don't know how the ball got out. With 2 other players both bumping each other rapidly in the corner. But they do survive now. Savage. 50 with Lucky. No side boost there for him. You can see Ignition maybe struggling a bit with the boost game. As Fire back in offense for RektGG. Grizzle, stopped by Fire. Now he has the hold of the corner. Challenges like these are important. And what a pass! Lucky! Saved by Proster. 50, that's all graded from the 50-50s from RektGG. Goodness, these midfield chances of theirs have been pretty strong, but... Oh, we're going to trade demos here. Penguin. They're controlling again. Look at this. midfield control. Penguin up. Doesn't get the second touch here against Savage. As a fire. Off the corner. Froster clears it under Lucky. Froster mishandles this one. Penguin towards the corner. Now he's looking to bump out Brizzle. Towards the net. Brizzle's got to save this. This game clean so far. There's not been any deadly enough shot yet for both these teams. That's not proper English. There's not been any deadly shots for these teams. We are seeing RektGG getting so many chances. As Fly Penguin with a great flick. Oh, misses this one. In front. Froster having to go backwards. Can't beat Lucky Rays the challenge. Fire. Infield. RektGG Carnage looking for these passes. They're looking to follow each other up. Look at how many plays are going across that net. If someone was just there for them, I think they'd be getting a couple goals here against Ignition. Rays in front. Brizzle wins the challenge against Fire. Now he has it off the side wall. Savage coming through. Two players on Ignition in that corner. They need to be careful. Brizzle across the net, and again, if only someone's there for these teams, waiting outside that box, we should be getting some goals here. Goal scorer listens to the final 2 minutes. Ignition. Froster. Infield. Savage misses this. Froster is going to rotate back. Brizzle can't beat Lucky Rays. And now, Fly Penguin. And another miss off the corner here. In front of the net. Brizzle. Off the crossbar in front for Lucky. Post. And out. Oh, it was so close here for RektGG Carnage. Lucky made the right decision there to jump for it. I think he could get that kind of an angle, knowing that Ignition didn't really have the boost for it. Back the other way, Lucky again. This one stopped by Froster. Follow up from Fly Penguin. That one's wide. RektGG there. Have not been able to get the second shots they want. Those second chances are going to be what break a lot of goals here for these teams, especially with their first shots have not been the strongest. As pinched in field on Fire clears it. You hear that warning? Well, that one, 60 seconds remaining. Froster, oh my goodness, he has to save that one. Lucky! There's the first goal of the game. As that one, bouncing all its way around, RektGG Carnage get the breakthrough, and it makes sense. Especially with how much offense they've had. They've had the better chances all game long. Ignition just can't break up. That was one of the things I had an issue with them last week when they played. They just aren't an aggressive enough team, in my opinion. There's so many times where they wait behind that midfield line and let the offense come towards them instead of actually trying to be the proactive team. And that will cause issues here against teams that are punching in that top of half of the bracket. You need to be able to pressure them. Pretty clear there from Fire. Savage. Great touch there. Ignition Savage. Can't get it on gun raise. Now in front for Fly Penguin. What a shot! And a great save there from Froster. And he'll get the clear past Penguin. They did on Fire. It's going to go across field here. A race of the ball. Won by Savage. But it's midfield. And again, Ignition. Waiting. Look at Brizzle. He's not even challenging here. All on Fire has to do is control this one, hit it backwards. But Froster, there's a challenge that Ignition needs. Midfield for Froster. Couldn't put it on. Follow-up shot. Not coming. Fire. Will not be able to let it drop. In front of the net. Great clear from Lucky. Savage. Can't keep it up. RektGG Carnage take game 1, 1-0. As that ball was fumbled on the line so many times by these teams on offense. Really, I think that this midfield option from them needs to be open. They need to have a midfield option, and you're going to see so many goals go in. Fortunately for them both, this is not the game that they want to start out the series with. As game 2, I think we'll be getting more goals, but who knows? Both these teams being very willing to let pressure on them. Although RektGG Carnage have done better at stopping that. They've also been the ones that played more aggressive. They actually are the ones that are winning the pressure. Whereas Ignition is just letting them have it, and I say letting them have it because they are sitting back so defensively with that third man. Even on offense, their third man is back towards near their nets. And well, that's not a bad thing when RektGG is going for clears. They aren't going for clears. They're going for these dribbles. They're going for these controlled touches. Actually, it just isn't enough here for Ignition. As these teams look to go to game 2 here, I need to update my bracket. That's the one thing I forgot to do. There we go. There's the bracket. Game 1 goes to RektGG Carnage. Yesterday, that matchup between RektGG Easy and Hardball Esports, that ended in a sweep. The only match tonight, it was pretty quick, but the stream wasn't. We had some fun afterwards. Maybe this series will have the ability to go longer, or if RektGG Carnage can get that offense going even stronger, I think they have everything that it takes to be Ignition. Like for Ignition, they don't have everything that it takes to beat Carnage right now. They just don't have the offense that I think is necessary for them if they want to beat teams above them. But they are winning 50-50s in this corner here. Proster flicks it out. Again, no one there, and look at how far Brizzle is. That pressure will come here if he doesn't challenge. Oh, now he double commits. Now infield for Lucky. That shot, weak. Proster backflips out of the wrong way, and Fly Penguin jumps in to counter that. A double commit from Ignition, and a great follow-up here from Rocky Rays. But Proster backflips. If he didn't flip at all, that was going to be an easy clear for him. He panics on the goal line. And that'll lead to a goal for RektGG Carnage. Last game, it took them into that final minute to get that goal. Now it's only taking them about 40 seconds. As Proster challenges on Fly Penguin. Savage trying to an infield option, but no one there. Brizzle will bounce its way down the back wall and in front. Does this create a chance? 50-50 here. And oh no, Ignition, a double commit. Lucky Rays will clear it down the field. 2 players committed for Ignition. A shot there wasn't really ever created. But now they're going on offense again. Proster couldn't get the double tap. And it looked like he had some incredible control there. The aerial mechanics, we know what he works on. As now he's trying to do some of his own off the ceiling. That one wasn't as pretty looking. Savage to Proster. I think many people could consider him the most mechanical player of this Ignition team, but mechanics doesn't really matter if you don't have the pressure. Ignition still struggling. Lucky Rays misses this. Fly Penguin trying to get his second. Couldn't put it on target. Proster with a clear. Passed on fire. Savage dribbles it. Challenge from Lucky. We'll bounce off the sideball. Back in field here. Fire. That's the ball away. Brizzle. Well, that's the touch he wanted. Savage gets rid of the danger. Fire. Sidewall. Looking to clear it out. Proster. And the whole control. Rays. Lucky Rays. Challenged by Ignition Savage. Ignition doing better at challenging here, but again, you can just see they're still holding themselves back here. They're not actually pushing onto offense. RektGG Carnage, they can win that challenge game. They can play that challenge game as much as they want. They'll win it at some point as long as they keep putting in challenges, putting in that aggression. As hello there, Death Wish. How you doing? We are currently in the middle of Game 2 here in this series. Game 1 ended 1-0 in favor of RektGG Carnage. Game 2 currently looking to go the same way. As both these teams stuck in a stalemate, a lot of challenges in the midfield. Fire. RektGG Carnage, they don't want to win 1-0 again. They want to win by 2 at least. Make it a little more, make it a little easier for them, give themselves some breathing room. As Fly Penguin off the corner, great pass in field, but again, no one there for Carnage. So many chances where they throw the ball in front, and you think someone's got to be there. No one ever is. Again, another challenge. And this one, the ball will stay in front. Fly Penguin, he can't get the touch he wants, but it is still off the back wall. That one's missed from Lucky. And Ignition Savage gets the clear. Back towards the net. Looking for the pinch was RektGG. They couldn't get it. Proster. Towards the net. Miss here. Fire! Oh my! It's in front of the net! That went off the post. RektGG Carnage almost created their own issue there. As Fire almost put a shot on his known target. You don't want to do that one there, Carnage. When you're only up by 1, every little play on defense matters. You gotta be able to hold that lead. Lucky Rays flicks it. Gets a bump on the way there. Ignition once again find a breakthrough. Shot. Fire. Saves it off the post. The strong stand-up defense here for Carnage. As on Fire, having to deal with a lot of players on top of him there from Ignition. But he does what he needs to do. Jumps up in time. Fire now. You get the dribble past Proster. And this one. gets the corner here. Fly Penguin doesn't jump up for it. Savage misses. Control for On Fire. Great 50-50, but no follow-up. Froster will win the challenge. And now on nets, Lucky saves it away. RektGG Carnage having to deal with a lot of shots on them here in this final minutes. Need that ball out. Fly Penguin. Backley will do enough. Ignition double commits. And surely for Carnage, that will be the end of their fears for right now. Lucky. Going for a double tap. I don't think you'll ever see him hit that. Well, saying that, we have seen flip resets at this level. Fly Penguin beats Froster. Carnage just need the time to end. Maybe get another goal here. Savage keeps it alive for Ignition. Froster 50-50, that will drop down. And RektGG Carnage win another game 1-0. But this one was a lot more difficult for them. A lot of saves. They've had to, especially in that last minute, they were stuck on defense. Ignition won the 50-50 game, won the midfield game, but they couldn't get the shots they needed. And now, just like last week, Ignition lose the first 2 games. They haven't even scored yet in this series, come to think of it. As we'll get game 3 underway here as soon as Ignition seems like they're going to take a break here, trying to talk with Ziggy about the changes that they might want to make here, because now that you're in game 3, sure, you reverse swept DTB Ponte's King, but you can't rely on reverse sweeps to win your everything. For Ignition, this is a series that is going to be very important for them, I think, in if they make it through or not. Because if they lose this, they're going to be on the back end for the rest of this first stage. But if they can win, if they can manage to get that reverse sweep, they'll be looking really solid going into that next round. If they, continue to do what they're doing. But right now for RektGG Carnage, they've only scored twice, but that's been enough goals for them. Won each game. They've conceded 0 from Ignition Academy. Not Ignition Academy, sorry, Team Ignition. Ignition Academy is the other team than Ignition. They have, I think they have 3 teams right now. They have Ignition Premier, Ignition Academy, and Team Ignition. Team Ignition Foundation, basically. I was just telling you what they're in. I just called them Ignition Academy. I've seen that Ignition Academy team play a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. But no, this is very different. This is a very different team. As now game 3. For RektGG Carnage, they only need to take like 40 seconds to get their first goal from last game. This game's going to be a little more difficult than that. It's cleared up by Ignition Savage. Offense already here for Ignition. They're trying to play fast. You can tell that they're spreading out a lot more from each other. And they're trying to outpace their opponents. Ziggy must have concluded that was a way they could beat them. And now Savage. He misses the ball there, but Fire will not have an issue. As Penguin back past the Fire, but Froster will bump Fire out. Now Froster infield. That last touch from Lucky will actually save his team. As that ball was looking just to roll its way in front of the net. I don't know how Carnage would have been able to stop it if it did go that way. As now Ignition Savage infield. Another big save here from Fire. Almost cost his team last game with an own goal, but... Well, with an almost own goal. But he's made some really good saves on top of that. Other than that, that weird defensive play last game, he's been really consistently making these saves. And he's going to have to make another one here. Froster towards net. Fire. Another save. I mean, that one wasn't too difficult for him, but every save matters for this team. And you can never understand. You can never know what will happen. You've seen players choke under the pressure. Froster, another one on net. That one stopped by Fire again. My goodness. RektGG Carnage now break free. They've gone past Ignition Savage. Do the back wall. Brizzle will read it. Now Lucky. Put the pass in field, but Ignition Savage. Oh, what a pinch away. Now Fly Penguin, last one back. Savage. Off the back wall. In front. Lucky Rays with the half flip challenge. And now he's got control. He's got a dribble. He's also got 2 players in front of him here for Ignition. Couldn't put it where he wanted it to. Fire. Doesn't get the dunk on Froster either. And again, Ignition, breakaway. Froster's shot. That one, saved by Lucky Rays. Yes, On Fire is Fire. He is on fire. Lucky Rays. What a nice touch here. That one goes over Fly Penguin. Not very truthful to his name there. Couldn't fly. As Ignition, a score here. As what happened here from RektGG Carnage, Fire was backwards to play, and he never challenged. Ignition Savage gonna score that every single time you give him that opportunity. You can't let him have it there for RektGG Carnage. They let him have a free shot, which is just a big no-no in Rocket League. You don't want to let free shots against you. You can avoid them, and they definitely could have avoided that. Now Brizzle at the very same place, infield. They had to use 3 players to commit to that one, RektGG Carnage, but they get the ball away. And yeah, RektGG Carnage, this has been kind of a slower game for them. Although saying that, what a shot there from Fire. It's been slow except for him. Like, I've seen both Fly Penguin and Lucky playing here. They haven't been playing nearly as well as Fire. Fire's been on top of so many things. So many incredible saves from him. So many good shots. And by good shots, I mean one shot. Because that's all he's really needed. And it's tied up here. First game to ever have 2 goals scored. And Ignition trying to make it a 3rd. But they won't be able to win that one. Froster pinches it. Infield, Fly Penguin. Jumps up. And now, Ignition, they need to put up a hand on this shot from Fly Penguin towards the net. Brizzle was almost caught off guard there from Froster jumping at that one, as that almost made things a little more difficult for him. But now Carnage on offense. Ignition. Oh, Savage, that's not a very good play. He gets the save in the end. But, putting the ball in front of his net, not something I would advise here. Is now Ignition. Oh, they got a free on one. Oh, and they wasted it. Everybody committed for that shot. As Fly Penguin misses this, Brizzle back in front. Rays gets the clear. Froster. No shot. Fly Penguin. It's a slight piece of that one against Ignition Savage. As Lucky Rays again in midfield, but he's gonna have to challenge Savage. He does. Fire. Fire, he's been so lethal. He's been a great defensive player this game. He's got the 1 goal that they currently have right now for Carnage. Their offense has been weaker this game for Carnage. For Ignition, still a lot of work to be done. Still have to score again, and with everybody committed, oh, that's going to be easy for Lucky Rays. A clear goal. As Ignition, everybody pushes up well past that midfield line. Yeah, must have been a combination of miscommunications and also just not knowing your aggression. I'm sure if they knew that the ball was going to be pushed up that way, they would have sit back further. But unfortunately, not how things have gone planned here for Ignition. Now they're losing by a goal. Been true for every single game here. They've lost by a goal. And they get a late one here to tie things up. And that's maybe to overtime. Fly Penguin misses this. Fire. He is that rock of a defender here for this Carnage team. As already heading into the final 10 seconds, Ignition stuck on their own half. Brizzle can't reach this. Froster out towards Ignition Savage, who pushes it upfield. Ignition Savage shot, saved by Lucky Rays. Rolling up the sidewall, Brizzle misses. Froster, last chance for Ignition, but that one will drop. RektGG Carnage sweep. 3 games straight here against Team Ignition. RektGG Carnage will promote themselves to the upper part of this, to the upper half of these teams in this grouping. Ignition gonna have to look to the next couple of weeks to see if they can get some wins here against some higher ranked opponents. There's that one. A win here for RektGG Carnage. 3 games straight. We've had a couple sweeps. We had one yesterday. We have one today. The series, Ignition, we saw them try to go for a sweep, but that can't happen all the time. They're going to have to really look to get these first couple of games because it's going to be a lot more difficult for them if they don't do it. But, oh, you just got the announcement there on Twitter as well. I'll be joining Brambo later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, so in about an hour and a half. Again, that will be it for this one. I told you it was going to be a quick series, but I mean, I wasn't lying. One series tonight, it was quick. And that will end it here. Again, thank you so much for showing your support, everybody. It means a lot. as we'll end this one. Let's go. Again, I'll also make sure to get the prediction outcome for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are correct. There you go. And thank you all so much for joining, for showing support, for being there. But that will end tonight. We do have 2 matches tomorrow, I believe. So we'll be getting a couple matches tomorrow, and then again, thank you all so much for joining around. Thank you guys so much for being supportive. But have an amazing rest of your night.